Welcome to Vyapaar Jagat Talk Show. Fempreneur Saturday Talk Series. Fourth Saturday is today, and the physical event, live event of Fempreneur Award happening on 19th of March 2023 at Ahmedabad. So I recommend all the women entrepreneurs to nominate yourself and your friends and your family women entrepreneurs, home safe and homepreneur and mompreneur, everyone to nominate for the Fempreneur Award 2023. Welcome Naisargisha and welcome Power Couple on the session. Today our session theme is Power Couple. What role is contributed by the man in the life of woman? Every time everyone says that there is every successful woman, for every successful man there is a woman behind it. So now for every successful woman, the whole family and the man behind it, right? So Naisargisa is today to moderate the panel. She is certified soft skill trainer with 20 plus year experience, NLP trainer and transformational coach, and she has done trained more than 5,000 professionals for the mindfulness and all that. So this is over to you, Naisargi.
Thank you, Darshana. Thank you very much for giving a wonderful introduction. But I have always a preference of talking about myself, and that makes me more proud what I'm doing and what I feel. So before we
Yeah,
start
please,
to
please.
get connected with
Yes,
each
yes,
other, is always
yes,
a wonderful way to start. Yes, ma'am. Yes,
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 yes. Please, please continue.
yes, yes. So I always introduce myself. I'm Naisargi Shah, certified NLP trainer, certified soft skill trainer, life coach accredited with US NFNLP USA, and being a finance student turned to HR and now into this profession. Yeah, why I'm into this profession is because since long I have seen that in my 18 years of career, I've always seen that there was a huge gap between education and the performance. And I always felt such a wonderful person. Why can't that person be on a top level? Why the gold medalist is just being seated somewhere and on the backside, and why this is happening? Why there are failures? So I try to find out every stage. I try to learn something new. I'm still learning, and yeah, of course, I'll be doing much more. But yeah, this is something about me to get connected. So, mother of two boys and a dog and a wonderful husband. Yeah, of course, my story is as well, like you, Sneha and Kunal. Me and my husband started a company 15 years back together, and now, yeah, of course, things are sorted, and now we are growing at a different level. So that's there. So I
Good
would
to
first of
hear.
all, I would like to ask you both of you to introduce yourself. Whoever takes the leads or both of them can talk about it. But I would like to listen from you about your own story, your introduction, something about your passion, something about your work, something about your whatever you like to share about it, which makes you a power couple.
Right. So it's a fempreneur, so woman first.
All right. My name is Neha Toxi. I'm an early childhood educator. I have my bachelor's in computer application and then moved on to the field of education. Education is very close to my heart because education is just doesn't mean academic goals. It's a wider concept. It's a bigger canopy that has a lot of aspects into it. Education, educare, there are a lot of things. So when I started working here in a school, I started realizing that in the field of early childhood education, a lot of time, a lot of women join. It is a female dominated field right now. If you look into the demographics and Ahmedabad, that a lot of preschool teachers are female, but a lot of preschool teachers who are female don't have credentials to support that profession. And there has to be, there's a lot more to than just teaching the ABCs and stuff. So that inspired me to go to United States. I studied there for 4.5 years, got my degree into early childhood education from there. And then I came back because I see that there's everything there, but we are missing something here that can be brought back home, and we can add more value to our society and add more, give something back to our future generation. They are going to be citizens of global citizens, not just, excuse me, Indian citizens. So that process of started rolling in my head. I Right out of the college, returning back from States, I picked up a job in preschool, and unfortunately, it just started taking things back. I mean, I was anticipating a lot of different things, but it just did not work that way because preschool still was the same, the way it used to be for my preschool. Coming to school, crying, separation anxiety, kids learning, teacher holding pens and making children light and worksheet, and that was just killing the joy in me. So that's where I would go and crib every day after the work to Kunal, say that this is not what I studied and this is not what I think I'm supposed to do. But I was kind of afraid, because it was kind of a new thing for me. And that's where Kunal came into picture. He's always been my best friend. We have been together since 2007, and he's always been a big support person, pillar, a foundation, everything around it. He said that you quit the job, you start your own thing. That's where the whole Sneha's imagination started coming in. It was just working from my mother's front yard with 5 families and 5 bachas, and then it started evolving, and we have now more than 1,000 of families associated with us at one point of time. Yeah, so that has been a journey for me. And over to Kunal.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think most of the things has been summed up by Sneha. Yeah, we started small, but yes, the thing is that just from my side, I'm from my background, I am an IT consultant. So I have done my master in computer application. I'm from Ahmedabad and would like to be in the Ahmedabad for my whole life. Not sure in the future what happens, but yeah, I'm basically a Guju by heart. So and we met up in 2007. So we fell in love, and then the journey started together. But she went for further study into USA. I have other projects also, but then we finally came together in 2014 back again. And when she started the job, I was also doing a job. But then from a corporate background, I understand that what sort of a frustration that she is feeling, why there are limited scope, why there are limited things that she experiencing. Another thing is that particularly when we talk about an early childhood education or the preschool, people just think it as a co-curriculum activities, and the women especially uh, feel it, okay, we have done a BA and we don't have any other career opportunities, so this is a good we don't have to learn much and we just be part of it, we earn some extra money and that's it. What she studies completely the whole psychology and the study and how development is important in the early childhood. So that's where a huge gap between what she wanted to do and what other people are here in this area. So that's where all the frustration started. So then I said that, okay, I understand what you're coming from. Why don't you have start your own? I mean, and don't worry about what will happen. I mean, what are the financial things and all. Just start it, okay? Let's just have a have your identity. I mean, whatever you wanted to implement, just go about it. And even we have not thought about it that what the future unfolds for us today. But yes, it's definitely a great journey, ups and downs, definitely. But then we have reached to that level that we have done more than 1,000 plus independent workshops. We have 5,000 plus of families we have catered to. And there are, I mean, much and much more stories to tell, but I think I'm not sure whether the time will permit. But yeah, that's how we wanted to sum up that. Yeah, Sneha's Imagination Station. It's been like 2015, 2013. It's 8 plus 9 years together.
That's how the work goes on hand in hand. That one person has thought of it, and the second person comes and support, whether it's male or female. I always say
Right.
that's a thought which comes to pops up, and the other person supports, and that's how it grows, right? It gives a positive vibes, positive support, and it keeps on rolling. That's the magic behind everything. But yeah, of course, as a society, since so many years has been reigned that male has a dominancy and female are on a different track. But now the world is changing. Every person is in a life, whether it is a couples having a male or a female, they both support each other in each and every task to each other. And that's the magic, and that's the power amongst the couple which they are growing. It as you said, one of the key question I always ask everyone, even every couple also, that what is that purpose? made you, one purpose, both of you. It might be different with the Sneha and it might be different with the Kunal. But what is that one key purpose which make you thought of that, yeah, I want to do this and I want to make this happen. There is always a key, and whenever you achieve that, now you get a satisfaction. The key satisfaction is that yes, it's there. And that smile automatically comes to the face and you get no, because there was that point of common understanding comes and starts.
Right. So if you ask me, my angle would be when she started the first thing, okay, because you love a person, you wanted to see her happy. So that's the one thing. But apart from it, as you say that it's not just about supporting, but as a family, what I see, woman being an independent, because I come from the family where my all my mother, my other family members are a working woman. So I see the importance of a working woman. So it's not just about being an independent, but
Yes.
it's more about contributing to the family. So that's what my philosophy is all about. Because what my father has achieved in for the family is because both the person are earning, both the person are supporting each other. It's not about just about that. So when that happens now, it automatically changes the way of looking at a woman. So that's the first thing. My father was a little more on outer side, but then later on, he become very, the feminine quality of a person also grows well when you work together as a partner. So I was very clear in my life that I wanted to have a person in my life who is a working partner. She will be definitely a working woman, not a housewife. Ultimately it's her choice. It's not something that I wanted to force. And when she when we thought of this Sneha's imagination station, I mean the name is also like her thing. So it's all about whether you wanted to do it or not. That's my proposition. Okay, so that's a one thing. So happiness, then the working on some meaningful thing as a financial support. Okay. And third and most important thing is, you know uh, for me, okay, I wanted to have something of our own, whether it's together, whether it's an independent, that's a separate thing. But then my motive has changed. It's not just about having something on your own. Like being from an IT, there are always people to have your own startup. एक project मिल गया आपको start कर देना है, and this kind of, I don't want to work in a company, and this is a in a 9 to 5 I'm stuck up and this and that. So I came from that mindset that okay, I wanted to have something on my own. But when Sneha has finished her degree, and then we started into this education field, then the whole motive changed from the business to contributing something back to the generation. So that purpose has changed the way we work. It's more given a value to as an individual. So it's not about something clear, but when we have worked, the purpose has evolved. So it's not just a money or a being independent, but it's all about okay, you are working with a child. I mean, you just be with 2.5 years of a child, and then the satisfaction that has been given to, or when you talk with the parents, and when you involved in some nice activities, and then the child evolves within 3 years, 4 years, and 5 years. So it gives an immense pleasure. So for us, yeah, so purpose is something little together, but then it has evolved a lot.
Yeah, I think I believe one thing. I believe one thing, that purpose should be evolved, because when you move, your purpose also moves. And if it is in higher goals, it keep on evolving even at a different level. Every 5 years, you will discover one new purpose, and to reach that goal, you'll keep on rolling with that. Yes.
Right, right.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that was what he just said. I'll just second that as well. It is more. It's bigger than us. We started with something that was to I was fresh out of the college. I was not very happy with the job and the environment that was, but it started becoming bigger and bigger as we started investing our energies into this. Not just the profession, but something which was more about allowing ourselves to reach to a self-actualization point.
Yes.
And where Kunal and we came together, and I count myself very fortunate, it was that it was a teamwork. I cannot consider my career just to be a sole career. Oh, I did that degree and I just started rolling and I'm doing all things and I'm on the floor with the kids. And he's no, but he's equally contributing, and we are a parents of a beautiful daughter together. So we want to kind of, contribute to the society in such a way that, it should not be seen that, female are the secondary bread earners. It has to be, I see there are, the nature has designed us for a very different purposes and roles, but still there has to be some cohesiveness. And that way we are showing to a future generation that, when, and usually Narsagi, I'll just like to quote this, is that when during a parent and child program, when a father comes to my program, every mother is applauding, but then mothers are not applauding each other. We just kind of think that way, that, oh, he's such a great father, but he is being the father, he's equally involved into that thing. So this imagination station being our baby wasn't something that, oh wow, Sneha is carrying this baby and she's taking it further, so Kunal is a secondary supporting person and he needs to be. It's more about being there for each other and constantly cheering. And I told you earlier, it's not always sunshines and strawberries. We fight, we argue, we disagree to a lot of things, but it is all about communication. And it is more about finding that right space for yourself, that you are able to communicate your disagreements as much as your agreements. Because I don't believe that every day is going to be the same. There are things from a professional aspect, the personal aspect, that we are always trying to balance. And that balancing act is all about, communication, the loyalty, and
I would
everything.
add something to you. You are putting your point on that point that when you disagree, for that also you agree. And
Yeah,
when you communicate, it solves it. And even if you let it go, it solves.
yeah,
But the
absolutely.
purpose and the goal is always together because you have dreamt for it. Like you're given an amazing dream for that future.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And I always say the couples, those who disagree and they agree. When they disagree to agree, that's the best thing which I always.
Absolutely. And there are days where we don't see eye to eye on a lot of things, but it is a-okay to agree to disagree. And that is how it is. It's about respectful relationship based on mutual trust and respect. There are certain boundaries, of course.
Sometimes I always being in the society, right? There are a couple of questions in my mind which I always think of it, that there should be a solution, there should be a problem, or there should be a happiness, there should be a sadness. There is everything in a plate, right? But there are times when everyone wants their me time. They want their different choice. They want their own stuff to be done. But where their ideas comes, they don't need to collaborate. Sometimes there is a zone that मुझे ये चाहिए, आपको ये चाहिए. The kids want this. Who wins at that point of time?
So a lot of time, again, it goes back to, yes, of course, we have our personal need. I want to scroll through my Instagram feed really quickly, and he wants to do me certain things. So a lot of time putting that point across, and also understanding. So being with each other for more than a decade now, it has come to a point that we are able to get it. Okay, now this is a orange zone, it's getting to the red one. Back off, Sneha, back off. Kunal needs his time. So, and there are days when Kunal would just like, okay, we are ordering a pizza, forget about the dinner, we are sitting together and just, just talk it out things. So it's more about understanding, and when there are needs are not met also, especially when the needs are not met, we absolutely try to, I'm a human, I'm not always self-regulated, I might communicate things, but it is more about coming around, acknowledging that I lost it and I should have communicated in a better way. And here I am in a calm centered headspace. I would like to say this again, because in the heat of the moment I did not really do it really well. So that is more about a learning phase every
As
time
you,
we go into that.
as you understand the psychological part very well, so you can say that there's an emotional imbalance which keeps on floating, and we have to keep
Absolutely.
on balancing that notion together, and
Hmm.
that's how we grow, right?
Absolutely.
One
So
more question. Yes.
just to add on top of it is that sometimes because we are working partner and also we are husband and wife. So sometimes both the roles get,
Intertangled.
so I mean, what I understood, whenever there is a differences and there is a fight, so you never know, there is a very thin line when wife kicks in when we are talking about a professional thing, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes husband kicks in when we are making a point of something which is very important. So what I understood is that the space when you are talking, when you are really talking about something, should be very much clear. So sometimes I draw a clear boundary. So we certain times is no time for talking professionally. Even we are in the leisure, even we have a time. It's not just about me time. I just completely forgot about that aspect because we also have a daughter. So when we walks into the home, it's like she's all charged up and ready. So, but the thing is that even when we talk, when she slept, certain times what I think is that I am so excited to share something about the new ideas that came that we wanted to come up, or when she is like wanted to creep about if certain things hasn't gone well. So at that time, what we think is that, okay, zone out of it. We are currently husband and wife. We don't want to discuss professionally on that part.
That's what I
And
was.
if we wanted to discuss, I make sure that, okay, let's sit in the office and only discuss. Even if we are free here, we have her in a good mindset. But no, let's go into that because that separates us from being an husband and wife, and we can talk clearly about what the thing is. So I think that space, if we maintain that space, then ultimately it will give a good impact on a me time. That will automatically get respected. That's what I feel.
Yes, and that's really very wisest step when you recognize that's a need of it. Because if you forget that limits, you don't know what happens at the next level. And when it is like your house, like it's your home and it's your workplace, both get entangled. That is very common. You can untangle it. But when it comes to
Right.
its impacts to the external world, third world, it is like in blast. And people start taking you in a wrong sense. They start thinking on their own, rather you can't control it. So it's a wonderful thing when you realize that this is the point we need to separate it. Sometimes I've seen the same thing which I always have felt that many a time the work काम का बात होता है ना, वो कहीं function में खड़े हैं, खाना खा रहे हैं, and that it hits up and we need to speak at that point of time. No,
Right.
control it, talk to it, remember it, because many
Right.
we tend to keep on rolling with that thing. So that's an amazing thing and wonderful. Keeps growing. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So something a story about your success. Like this is a couple, right? That's okay. But something which you really feel that this is a success which we have achieved it. You feel proud of it when you say that. As I said to you, I really feel a really achieved and success in my work is that when I found that gap, it's in such a huge gap. Honestly, when I see that, यार क्या कर रहे थे parents? बच्चों को इतना भी नहीं सिखाया ये. He's in 24 years old, man or woman, coming to the workplace and they don't know this much. So now I thought of creating that behavioral patterns, making them learn different soft skills and lot many things. Not only how to think, also I'll make them learn. So at that point of time, I really feel that thing. But yes, what is that thing that makes you smile? And yeah, that's the most powerful thing, which creates our success story. वो पावर पैक होता है ना एक अपना खुद का whenever you remember, that's the thing. Yes.
Right.
So the success story, or if I say, it starts from being a student myself. So whenever when I think about education and development in this profession, I think about me being a student. What did I miss out? What did I want my teachers to be, and what were those gaps which did not really, they were not met at my being as a student. So allowing that to evolve and kind of plan and map out my journey. So every time when a child comes into my center, a lot of times we ask the parents as what's your objective, what are your developmental goals that you have in the mind, and able to meet each individual developmental needs so that child eventually grows into a person who falls in love with learning. So as you mentioned that in your profession that you are teaching an adults to even think, right? So you are basically learning at any given point of time. You don't stop learning at one stage. You're out of college and you're done with the learning part. Now you're going to do and earn money. That is not there. So understanding each individual family, connecting with child's ecosystem, and then supporting their development and education goals so that this child falls in love for learning. It's not only prepare for school readiness, but for life readiness. And trust me, nobody can know what's going to be tomorrow. Right? So, how do we prepare kids for that uncertainty where they are going to not only survive but thrive? So it's not only IQ or EQ anymore, it is SQ and AQ too, social quotient, adversity quotient. So that is what my, thing is. And when I meet that goals for each individual families, it just fills my heart with joy.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. So to me about the success, what she said is okay, and when you see a child and the parent happy, that's where you feel. So for me, it is on a broader aspect. It is pretty much clear that success should be something within. It's not something what other people see outside. Success is something that is close to you when you feel something inside, not something that is visible outside. So for me, success is fulfilling something that you have one dreamt about. So for example, she started from a small area of the home. Then when we shifted to the Thaltej area, and then we had like 500 square yard of a place. And now today we are having 2,500 square yard. It's like 5 times bigger than what we used to have. And that was the time when the COVID hit, and things were going south. But even then we stay, and we stay. Not only we stay, but just to say that when we started all the programs and all the things which we were not carried out properly. We were not carried out because we cannot deliver it because the COVID happens. We refunded all the money to all the families. At that time, no one was coming up. It's a COVID. No one was doing it. We also given a discount for half of the program that were not completed. So we said, okay, 50%, and then we do. So we ethically, I mean, we did a business. We went to a bigger space, and then we maintain our morality and ethics. That if we are not able to, because of, even if it is a COVID, okay, but we don't want to do that. We will support them. And even during a COVID time, let's say 3 months of a program or a 6 months of program, what we give them, because they were parents very, very uncertain about it. If what happens if the COVID happens, and what about if like people don't able to come, then we say, if you don't come because of a COVID, will not consider that as give you another 1 month extension. From your family got a COVID and you are not able to come because of a quarantine, we will give you extension. So that way people trusted in us, even the toughest time was, and we win, and we able to connect with the people. That's what I feel, that was a great success. We maintain our ethics, morals, and we stay.
And to summarize what he said, it was all about ethics, relationship, and trust. Because being in an early childhood development field, these are the three main aspects that why would any parent would send their children to us if they don't trust us, if they don't believe in the relationship that we have built with them. No. So even in the uncertain times where COVID was a global thing, it wasn't something that happened to us. But we make sure that our priorities and our definition of success doesn't mean that how many number of families I earn or how many, what is the fees that I gathered from this family. It was about the how many families retained with us and they came back to us because now it is safe for the kids to, and that's a success definition for both of us.
Right. And even today, I mean, when we see there are few people from the references are coming from, the few references, few parents were like, okay, in early batches like 2015, 2016, they were joined our programs. And now few of the parents, they are saying that, okay, we came from the reference of that person. And then we remember that person and then say, okay, that was like this much old. And then we go back and we say, so that's the value that, we imparted, or the relation or the trust that has been there. It is still there even after 8 years.
And that's a driving factor for us. Yeah. That has always been a driving factor for us.
And that's an awesome. That's really awesome. Both of you, that's a rocking part of the growth. Yes. Something before we end this session, one thing I always ask everyone, every couple I ask, and every, not only couples, but every two person who are together, I always, 3 things which you really appreciate that you want to convey the other person. Please, both of you are going to share for each other. And that's the most powerful thing. You can continue for your whole life. Lagta hai na ki ek mahina ho gaya hai, baat bahut sari ki hai, but now let's talk about this. And this adds a fuel to your energy like anything. So please, I would like to listen. Both of you can share to each other. So dedicate.
I'll go first now.
Tough one. Okay. You are a woman of strength. So that's the one thing that I admire from the beginning, that you are very clear about what you want. So that's the first thing. So woman of strength, definitely. Secondly, you have a gentle heart, because that was the moment when, when you connected with the child, and the way you connect and, the bring out the best in child. And when there was a moment when child says, okay, we don't want to go out from the center, we don't want to go home, we wanted to play. And the way I see you take care of a children, that's where, the only gentle heart can do this. That's what another thing that I wanted to say. So that it for there is a bad days. Bad days. And what do I say? Third one. Thanks for being my partner.
Yeah, you have a choice there. So the thing that I appreciate about Kunal is he's able to see those fine lines that I sometimes miss out, because I'm the person who thinks from the heart first and then the logical kicks in. Even with the bigger amygdala that I have, and I go back to a lot of references of a lot of issues going back, and we just have a big discussions over things, and you're still maintaining the calm and allow me to just unload that emotion state. That's most important thing. And because, a lot of times people just don't listen, but you listen to me, and the way you lift me up, that's just commendable. The way you lift me as a person, the way you make me feel as a mother, the educator, and the way you present me, it's just something I keep falling in love with you over again and again. So that's
wonderful. Wow, power pack. That's a supplement power pack dose.
But Naisargi, I have to thank you for this question, is because a lot of time we forget about saying things to each other. So thank you.
Yes, that's welcome. That's the most powerful question whenever you think that there is some lack of energy, you just popped up with this question and just say that we are going to talk about it, and you just say to each other, everything goes off.
I'm gonna make a note of that.
That's wonderful. Yeah. So thank you, everybody, for making this.
Thank you.
This half an hour or 45 minutes what we have taken, right, Darshanaji?
Yes.
Knowing your story is an amazing idea, giving to the next generation, sharing with them. And I always say that this thing, that each and every man should watch it, because sometimes what is happening in the society is that some factors are not known. And sometimes a man, I have seen many of them, that they have a fear of a peer. Like, yaar, ye kya bolega, ye kya kahega, no? And they talk about it.
Fully agree with you.
We don't know. We don't know their constraints. But when they come up and share, it's more powerful. Because we all talk, like women so keep on talking, yaar, ye nahi hai, ye nahi hai, ye nahi hai. But when man comes and takes a lead in the women, it makes a lots of difference. And thank you very much, Kunal, for sharing Sneha's credentials.
No, it's a woman, that's fine, but that's individual as an individual also. So it's about justifying your talent, what you are having. I mean, it's not just about a man has a talent or a woman, but it's about as an individual also. I mean, as a human also, you have to support whichever comes in your way. But definitely, we support more to the loved ones, definitely.
Yes.
But yeah, when we met, so we saw that, okay, I saw at least that, okay, she has an immense talent about being connecting to the child and all the things. So yeah, thanking to me is also okay, I accept it. I done a good job, but yeah,
Take it. When women are saying thank you, then you should take it.
yeah.
So,
But thank you, Fempreneur, for this platform. Thank you, Nesargi, for the wonderful session. Thank you, Darshnamin. It's pleasure connecting with you all. Hope to see you in person soon, though.
Yeah, sure, definitely. Thank you,
definitely.
Sneha, and thank you, Kunal, for sharing your sharing.
Thank you.
I really appreciate your thought that definition of success is not depending on the money you earn and successful revenue of the business you are doing. It is depending on the purpose you are solving. I always write in my stories as well that success is not defined by any numbers. It is defined by your inner strength. Means for what you are doing the business or what you are doing the activity. If it is fulfilling, then you are successful. It is not defined by other person that you are successful or not. It's really commendable statement provided by you. I really agree with you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And
Thank
you are
Thank you,
doing
Darshnaji.
great job for the child. Yeah.
Thank you.
And
This
thank
is
you,
And this
really-
is my
Naisargi.
daughter.
Wow. Oh,
She
Yeah.
just
wow.
joined and
Good.
say,
Say hi.
she's like wondering,
was
like,
waiting
daddy
to-
usually works on the laptop. Like, mom is also sitting in front of laptop today. So that's
Oh.
Rumi.
Say
Hi,
hi.
Rumi.
Hello, Rumi. I think she was waiting to come in front of camera.
She came a couple of times and she went and she know that, but okay. Now my popcorn is finished. Now I have to come.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Pleasure connecting with you. And thank you, Naisargi, for moderating this power couple very well and amazing patience and thought process of the couple. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
See you all in the in-person meeting on 19th.